Hey, so yesterday I had a phone call with someone I've known for a good while, and he's telling me what he's going to do with his £200,000. Yeah, so in this video, I'm going to show and tell you what you could do with £200,000 of your own money, or if you was to raise it from someone else, which we've also taught many people to do. So watch this. So look, for £200,000, if you want to put it into a HMO, so £200,000 is what you're starting with your own money or something you've raised from an investor. Now, what's going to start to happen is you sink this into the property, you borrow other money from the banks to be able to buy the property and do the renovation and so on. Yeah, by the time you buy it, you go through the conveyancing, you start the project, you finish the project, you stage it, you tenant it and all the rest of it, it's going to be about 12 months. Anybody who says, oh, like I'll whack it out quicker than that, yeah, sometimes it can happen, but really you should be allowing 12 months. Now, I now have got to then refinance it to pull all my money back out, so then I can go into another project if that's what I so wish to do. But then to now make the money, and some people are under the illusion that every freaking property makes £1,200 profit or £1,500 profit. You know, if it's done well and strategically, it could make £1,000. But a lot of the time, because people are not doing it properly, it can even make less. But let's just say it does make 1,000. That means in the second year, because the first year I did the project, in the second year, I will now make £12,000. So my return on my money is 12,000 divided by the 200,000 equals 6% ROI, but it took 2 years to get that return. So divided by 2 equals, I get an amazing 3% ROI on my money. Yeah, so like, here's the thing. Most people, they're like, oh, I've seen a strategy online, so that's why I'm going to do it. They don't actually ask themselves, well, what's the strategy for me? What strategy works for me? So people don't even ask themselves why they're doing it in the first place. They're just like, oh, I just want to make money. I just want financial freedom. But it's too vague. That's a whole system that we teach on another thing, but don't worry about that for now. What I want to do is show you, well, how can you actually turn this 200K into a lot more than 3%? Now, do I have an asset that's cash flowing? Yes. Will it make me more money in the years later? Yes, it will. But if you are wanting to buy your freedom or put yourself in a position where you've got the cash flow and you've got all the things that you need so you can do these other long-term projects, because we teach people like quick wins, medium returns and marathon. You know, this is a whole nother system. So here's the thing. Let's just put this to a side. What about if I use the £200,000, rather than put it into that, I go into a very strategic, what we call flip, or sometimes delayed flip. Now, I want to get a good return on my money and get it working for me. So what I'll do is I can now split this up into possibly times 4 different projects. Now, in these projects where I buy a house, I go into the loft and make another bedroom. I go under permitted development out the back to create a big open kitchen diner, depending on the particular thing. If I hit the jackpot, I'll have a house with a garden, be able to do a new build. But that's, you know, taking it well into the 6 figures. So I'm not going to use that in this example. But if you find one of them within this, oh my goodness, it's insane. These 4 properties, I'll make anywhere, and I'll show you the system, anywhere between 30,000 to 50,000. And this will be anywhere between a 6 and a 10-month period, because that's how we work out how much profit we're going to make on average. Like, we want to make, depending on how many months it takes, I want to make 5,000 a month equivalent. Okay, so if I can turn it around in 6 months, 30 is okay. Take 10 months or a year, then you know it's got to be 50, 60K. Yeah, so easy mechanism to follow. So here's the thing. If I can make now, let's just go with a worst case scenario, the 30K return on each one of these things, that is 30 times 4 equals £120,000. Now, I'll obviously get all of my money back from the sale, and I'll make this profit as well. So here's the thing. If now I am making 120,000 divided by the 200,000 equals, now I'm not just getting 3% ROI, I'm getting 60% ROI. It is possible to do 4 projects with it, like basically one after the other within the space of, you know, a couple of weeks or months or whatever, and be able to do that within the first year. Then I got 60% ROI on my money. And now I've got a bigger chunk of money to go and do it again and again and again. But I also could just keep doing it with the original 200,000 or the investor's money, and now I could live off this. If I need 5 grand a month, which most people keep telling me they do, well, what have I just bought here? You know, I basically bought myself 2 freaking years of freedom. I don't need to do a job anymore and all the rest of it. But let's say worst case scenario, you did it over 2 years, it's still a 30% ROI on your money, and you would make the equivalent of 60K, which still is your freedom. Yeah, so you got to work out what strategy actually is going to get me there. Now, I've done other videos, because some people, they're just like, oh, do deal sourcing, do rent to rent, do service accommodation. You've got to remember, every strategy is a solution to a problem. So if you only learn one solution, you can only solve one problem, which is why many people in the Real Life Tribe over the years, hundreds of them have built multi-million-pound property portfolios, because they know how to do a flip. And if they're looking at HMO, they can also have a second exit as a flip. They know how to do rent to rent, they know how to do rent to SA, they know how to do buy to SA, they know how to do apart hotels, they know how to do convert B&Bs into service accommodation, they know how to do buy, refurbish, refinance, they know how to do splitting the title, they know how to do lease option, because each one of these things is a solution to a problem. And if we go out there and we find the problems, we create a solution, we get paid handsomely for it. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe here, and if you haven't already, join the Ultimate Freedom Network, because this is where I'll be pulling back the curtain, stuff that you can't share online because it's all censored and manufactured anyway. So get inside there, get the real truth.